Dear Mom and Dad, camp is fun. I wanted to climb the mountain, but everyone says I'm not old enough yet. Can I come back next year and do it? Bye, Nick.
Mount St. Helens, a 9,677-foot sleeping volcano nestled in the wild abundance of the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest in southwest Washington. On March 20th, 1980, Mount St. Helens began to show telltale signs that her slumber was ending. After the last great ice age had retreated northward, the Cascades were already well established, running from northern California through Oregon, Washington, and into Canada. But there was one peak amongst them that was not so well established. Compared to the rest, she was a teenage mountain, and like most teens, had growing pains. St. Helens is known to have erupted numerous times in the past. In the early and mid-1800s, she erupted again. It's small wonder local Native Americans in a variety of tribal languages called this peak basically the same thing, Fire Mountain. The view from the summit of Mount St. Helens was breathtaking. Below lay Spirit Lake. In the distance, an older peak, Mount Rainier. The lake was a haven for recreational activities and youth camps, the YMCA's Camp Meehan being the first. Thousands of youngsters flocked to the lake over the years, learning how to row a boat even when the oarlocks wouldn't stay put, sailing a wind that seemed to rise from the blue-green depths of the lake itself, always discovering new friends, the diamond-encrusted night skies, and how to cook an egg on a stick. There were National Forest campgrounds on the lake, too. Bear Cove, Cedar Creek, Donnybrook. And beyond them stretched the forest. A living museum for the curious. A place as close to heaven as one could get. At Trail's End, there were places that were like living in a postcard world. In the winter of 1979, changes were taking place deep beneath the mountain's serene exterior. On March 20th, 1980, a moderate earthquake beneath the mountain registered 4.1 on the Richter scale and was the first sign of an eruptive phase. Swarms of quakes followed until March 27th.
We are directly over Mount St. Helens right now, and there is no question at all that the volcanic activity has begun. You can see smoke and ash pouring from the top of the mountain, especially on the north side of the mountain.
A concern for public safety prompted the closure of the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest. What scientists had anticipated, the eruption of Mount St. Helens before the end of this century, had begun. The mountain had a newly opened crater, measuring about 250 feet in diameter. The earthquakes continued. Forest Service and cooperating scientists went right to work.
845.
Ringing the mountain with an array of gadgets, hoping to document even the slightest twinge. The Forest Service ordered immediate evacuation of its own nearby ranger stations, such as this one on Pine Creek on the southeastern flank of the mountain. They also strongly urged others having homes, lodges, or camps near the mountain to do the same. On the morning of March 29th, a second crater was observed, which had opened during the night. The new crater measured 75 feet wide and 30 to 60 feet deep. On March 31st, explosive eruptions continued, and the two craters merged. For the next several days, the mountain continued to spew ash and steam. Then, eruptive activity decreased. However, a bulge noticed earlier on the north-northeast flank of the mountain near Goat Rocks was found to be moving north-northwest at about 5 feet a day. Scientist David Johnston expressed the opinions of the U.S. Geological Survey. They would later prove incredibly accurate.
In the initial phases, we'd see probably very large eruptions that would extend high into the air. This would spread ash over large areas in western Washington, maybe possibly in an extreme case even farther east. In the near flanks of the volcano, there would be more damage done by possibly hot avalanches, pyroclastic flows. Farther downstream, we could see mud flows and floods.
Because this is such a symmetrical volcano and because the crater is so high, if there's an explosion, it's probable that the debris, the very hot incandescent ash that would come down, could come down all sides. But right now, there's a very great hazard due to the fact that the glacier is breaking up on this side of the volcano, on the north side, and that could produce a very large avalanche hazard.
In the meantime, the chief of the Forest Service declared part of the land around the mountain a geological area to help protect the unique features. The Forest Service and the U.S. Geological Survey were taking the mountains seriously, as did the Spirit Lake Youth Camp operators, who coordinated their efforts and, along with a donated helicopter and a large refuse bin, began hauling out.
Well, the tourists come to see her smoke, and they all think it's one big joke. That mountain's just a molehill in disguise. But when that lava starts to ooze, they'll be running the heels off their shoes. Heck, we just thought she was over-publicized.
But the effects of Johnston's words were lost on most people, who were more interested in Mount St. Helens as just another roadside attraction.
It's gonna rock, it's gonna roll, it's gonna leave a nasty hole. It'll be too late to find a place too high.
As far as we know, it's just a joke. Well, not really a joke, I guess, but it could last 100 years. We're gonna stay till the rocks start falling, I guess.
You don't mind working in the shadow of the mountain, then?
No, not at all. There's nothing to be scared of. More danger than one of them trees falling on the backside than there is a mountain of exploding.
For 83-year-old Harry Truman, operator of St. Helens Lodge, nothing was about to move him from the shadow of his beloved mountain.
Harry wants to stay, and he's not going to leave, so, and he's thanked us for our concern for coming.
It's definitely a mistake. Somebody done it to cause trouble for me and the law and everybody else. That's my life. Spirit Lake and Mount St. Helens is my life, folks. I've lived there 50 years. It's a part of me. That mountain and that lake is a part of Truman, and I'm a part of it.